How's it going, guys? It's Cole from See-Through Panel. I wanted to talk real quick about a book I just received in the mail yesterday, Cosmic Detective, written by Jeff Lemire, Matt Kindt, art by David Rubin, he's doing the penciling, inking, coloring, and the lettering. So everything but art is done by David Rubin. Nice gilded edges. Not published by anyone, as you can tell down here, because it is a Kickstarter that I've backed in early to mid 2020. Just got it in the mail yesterday. That'd be August 24th. So it took a long time, but that was also peak COVID pandemic. And for, just three guys to pump out this quality of a hardcover, it takes a long time for that sort of thing. So before I crack into the book, I will say I won't be spoiling anything in terms of the story, but I'm going to be flipping through the book. So if you don't want to see anything that might spoil the story, just go to audio only or just wait till after you've read it. So immediately you can tell there's a lot of Kirby inspiration. And then it is also dedicated to Jack Kirby. It's very New Gods style. You're going to see a lot of that here. I'm not sure if this book is going to be available in the direct market. I really hope it would be, because Jeff Lemire, Matt Kindt, and David Rubin are all huge names in the comics industry right now. There's no reason this wouldn't be picked up by a publisher and just reprinted. I should say it also has a nice ribbon bookmark that they added for one of the stretch goals in the Kickstarter, as well as the gilded edges. So very nice quality book. The basic premise, without spoiling it, just the tagline, is a god is killed, and our protagonist here is a detective investigating the murder. And it gets a lot different. That's just the start, the pull of the story, but it develops a lot from there. So I just read this about an hour or two ago, so I wanted this less to be a review and to be more of just kind of showing you guys the book. I'm really excited I finally got it in the mail, and I've been waiting for it for a long time. So for those who didn't get to see or didn't get to back the Kickstarter and won't be able to get this book for a while, just show some pages off from it. There is nudity in this book, so I'm going to have to be careful to not show any of that for YouTube's sake. I really love David Rubin's use of color in this book. I think his line is very similar to kind of a Paul Pope style, with a little bit cleaner line, a lot brighter of colors. I think Paul Pope has a really interesting way to use. He uses inks, but his actual lines are kind of messy in a good way. But Rubin's are very, very clean. And he really loves to use this pattern, like on the floors. And there's a lot of patterning throughout the book that he does very, very well, very geometric. I love his use of facial expressions too. Like I said, I'm not going to be talking much about this. I did very much enjoy the story, but I think it's just a little early for me to go too deep into it. I will say I wasn't disappointed by it in any way. It was really worth the wait, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. Obviously, these are two very, very competent writers in the comics medium, so there was never any doubt that the story would be great. And then having David Rubin on top of that is just icing on the cake, really. Doing this really wacky, Kirby cosmic style. I haven't actually seen David Rubin do much of that. I've read The Hero by him, The Hercules Tale, and then Beowulf and Ether, I believe, are the only books I've read by him, but I would love to see him used more. I think he also covered a bit of... Oh, it's right behind me. What's it called? Rumble. He also, after James Herron dropped off Rumble, I believe David Rubin took over a little bit, but I haven't gotten that far, so. A lot of texture, a lot of overlays over the art. If I can find a good example. Even on the ground there, a lot of texture he puts into the backgrounds and the architecture, even on the car. I'm sure he's mostly digital, but he does do that same effect that I mentioned in the Drie video of the paint splatter, where he kind of just looks like he's dipping his paintbrush in paint and then just flicking it at the page. That splatter effect, I'm sure I'll be able to find some of it for you. Right there, actually. Just the black dots, look like he's just flicking paint onto the page. I always very much enjoy that. Speed lines, very effective. I'm gonna skip a bit here because I know that there is nudity coming up. The story really goes places you didn't expect it to go, and that's what I enjoyed about it, because it starts as a simple noir tale and goes pretty off the deep end into some very interesting places. Very sci-fi. It ends up, you know, it starts as a sci-fi noir tale, but I would say it ends a lot more sci-fi than noir. It has a bit of a nice little epilogue going for it as well, which I really liked. Nice use of gradient color there. Just seeing that, I know it's very broad, but it just reminds me of the way James Stokoe colors. Here we go. Try not to say anything about why, but what I really like is that our protagonist gets kind of smashed in the face here, and for the next, you know, the entirety of the scene and even the next scene, his face remains messed up like that. He never really fully recovers even throughout the story, so I like that kind of consistency. This, I think, is... Alright. Really cool page, in my opinion. A lot of panels on this. But I think I'm gonna stop going deeper at this point because I'm not entirely sure that I want to show too much of the end. But yeah, this isn't really a full review, as you can probably tell. Just want to show off this book because I'm not sure if it's going to have a lot of talk outside of the people who kickstarted it. I really hope and definitely assume that it's going to be available on the direct market. I can't see why not with all the names on this and the quality of the book. There's a nice section in the back too. I guess I'll show this off where I finish. Just a nice, infinitely unfolding page here of all the designs. And there's even on the back of it equally more designs. And that was, you know, a really cool thing to add to the back, along with, you know, some character studies, notes, a little bit of the script, things like that. So, really well-made book. I'm really happy to have it. I hope that for those of you who got it, that you are enjoying it, and for those of you who weren't able to get it, I'm sure that you'll be able to get it here soon. So, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.